Welcome, rare gems. Have you ever noticed how some women just don't complain about the things that drive everyone else crazy? While most people spend half their time venting about work, relationships, people's behavior, or how unfair life feels, there's this rare kind of woman who seems completely unfazed. She sees the same chaos, deals with the same mess, yet chooses to respond in a totally different way. That's a Sigma female. She's not avoiding problems or pretending life is easy. She simply doesn't waste her energy crying over things she can't control. While others stress about being misunderstood or not getting enough support, she stays grounded. She knows how to rely on herself without making noise about it. This mindset isn't something she was born with. It's something she built through experience, silence, and the kind of self-reflection that most people avoid. She's been hurt, let down, overlooked. But instead of complaining, she turned those moments into fuel. Her strength doesn't scream for attention. It just exists, calm, steady, and solid. If you're someone who feels overwhelmed by everything going wrong around you, let this be a reminder. You don't have to react the way everyone else does. You don't have to join the loud complaints just to feel seen. You can choose to move differently. You can choose clarity over chaos. The Sigma female proves that peace is possible, not when things get easier, but when you decide to get stronger. Let's get started. The rare gems. Number 1. Not getting enough attention. You ever notice how so many people feel uncomfortable when they're not the center of attention? They'll speak louder, post more, dress a certain way, all just to feel noticed. For some, attention feels like proof that they matter. But a Sigma female sees that game for what it is, a trap. She doesn't need to light up a room to feel powerful. She knows how to let silence do the heavy lifting. For her, not being the center of everything isn't a weakness, it's freedom. When people overlook her, they assume she's passive or average. What they don't realize is she's paying attention, not performing. While everyone else is busy trying to be seen, she's busy watching, learning, absorbing, calculating. There's power in that kind of quiet focus. Think about a workplace meeting. Everyone's scrambling to speak, throwing around buzzwords just to sound smart. The Sigma female? She might only speak once, but when she does, it lands. It shifts the whole direction. Not because she was loud, but because she was sharp. That's the difference. Invisibility gives her the room to move without pressure. It allows her to take her time, build without noise, grow without interruption. And the best part? When she finally reveals what she's been working on, it hits harder because no one saw it coming. There's no build-up, no bragging, just results. She doesn't just accept being overlooked, she chooses it, because she understands something most people don't. True power doesn't need a spotlight. It needs intention, self-control, and the patience to let others burn out while you're still building. So the next time you feel unseen, ask yourself this. Do you really want the noise? Or do you want the kind of presence that speaks for itself, without ever needing to beg for it? Sigma females already know their answer. Number 2. Feeling left out. You ever felt that sting of being left out? Maybe you saw a group hanging out without you, or caught wind of a conversation you weren't part of. Most people feel that itch to belong, like they're missing something important if they're not included. But a Sigma female? She doesn't feel left out because she never put her worth in anyone else's hands to begin with. She doesn't need to be around people just to feel alive, while others scroll through photos of parties and gatherings wondering why they weren't invited. She's already deep into something that feeds her soul. Maybe she's working on a personal goal, binging on a topic no one else cares about, or just enjoying her own quiet. That's not loneliness. That's alignment. Picture this. A group of coworkers plan an after-work hangout. She's not invited. The old version of herself might have cared, might have asked, was it something I did? But not anymore. She uses that evening to reflect, journal, take a walk, read a book that sharpens her thinking. While others drink and gossip, she resets. She's not bitter, she just values her time differently. FOMO is real, but it's only powerful when your self-worth depends on being seen. Sigma females flipped that switch a long time ago. They realized that peace isn't found in being surrounded, it's found in being centered. And here's the thing. The more at peace she becomes with being out of the loop, the more magnetic she actually becomes. People start wondering what she's up to, why she's not chasing approval like everyone else. But by the time they notice, she's already gone, building something real in her own lane. So if you ever feel like you're missing out, pause for a second. Ask yourself, what exactly am I missing? Because the Sigma female knows if it costs her peace or purpose, it was never really worth being part of in the first place. Number 3, waiting for the right time. You've probably heard people say, now's not the right time. It's the line that comes up when someone wants to make a big move but keeps hesitating. They wait for more money, more confidence, more clarity, or some perfect green light from the universe. But here's the thing. That perfect moment? It rarely ever shows up. And a Sigma female knows this better than most. While others hit pause, waiting for things to line up, she moves, even when it's messy, even when the plan isn't fully clear. She understands that waiting too long often becomes an excuse for never starting. So instead of stalling, she builds as she goes. Imagine someone wanting to start a small business. They spend months collecting books, watching videos, over-planning every detail. A Sigma female would open a basic page, offer a simple service, and improve from there. She learns by doing, not by waiting. While others are preparing for the perfect conditions, she's already in motion. She treats chaos like a classroom. If things feel unpredictable, she adapts. If the timing is off, she adjusts her pace. But she never sits still hoping the stars will align. She's not chasing a flawless beginning. She's focused on real progress. The truth is, life doesn't pause for anyone. Circumstances rarely feel just right. And the Sigma female refuses to waste time begging life to cooperate. She'd rather make bold moves with shaky hands than stay stuck with a perfect plan and no action. So if you're holding back, waiting for more signs, more comfort, more permission, take a breath. Look around. You already have enough to begin. You'll never feel fully ready, and that's okay. Start anyway. The Sigma female knows something most people don't. Progress is built in real time, not perfect time. Number 4. People don't understand me. Have you ever felt the frustration of explaining yourself over and over, only to realize people still don't get you? Most folks crave being understood. They want others to see their heart, their reasons, their pain. And when they don't get that validation, it eats at them. But Sigma females operate on a whole different level. They've made peace with being misunderstood. They don't chase clarity from others. They don't over-explain or try to fix people's perceptions. If someone gets it, great. If not, they move on without losing sleep. Because they understand something most people don't. Being deeply understood is rare, and not everyone has the depth to meet you there. Imagine you're in a room where everyone's laughing at something shallow, and you say something real. The room goes quiet. You're left standing there, feeling like the odd one out. Most people shrink after that moment. A Sigma female? She holds her ground. She doesn't water herself down to be digestible. She speaks her truth and lets the silence speak louder. She knows that clarity isn't owed. It's earned by those willing to pay attention, ask better questions, and sit with the full picture instead of just the parts they find comfortable. Most people aren't ready for that level of honesty, so she doesn't offer it freely. There's a strange kind of power in that. While others exhaust themselves trying to feel seen, the Sigma female channels that energy inward. She learns herself, she accepts her contradictions, and by doing that, she becomes someone solid, not someone shaped by outside approval. So if you've ever felt like nobody gets you, don't panic. You're not broken. You might just be wired for something deeper. And like the Sigma female, you may have to walk alone for a while. But the clarity you find in yourself will always be more powerful than any outside applause. Number 5. Life is unfair. Everyone says it at some point. Life's not fair. And they're right. Good people get hurt. Hard work doesn't always pay off. Sometimes the loudest voice gets the credit, while the one doing the real work gets ignored. Most people complain about it. They feel bitter, cheated, or stuck. But a Sigma female doesn't waste time hoping for fairness. She expects life to be uneven. She trains her mind for it. Where others see unfairness as a wall, she sees it as a test. not a punishment, but a chance to sharpen what's already inside her. She doesn't ask, "Why me?" She asks, "Now what?" That mindset flips the script. It turns setbacks into strategy sessions. Picture two people passed over for a promotion. One complains for weeks, vents to everyone, and eventually loses motivation. The Sigma female? She clocks it, accepts it, and pivots. Maybe she works smarter. Maybe she starts building her exit plan. Maybe she uses that moment as proof that she needs to own her own path. But she never sits in the bitterness. She knows life owes her nothing. That truth used to sting. Now it grounds her. It frees her from entitlement. It reminds her that strength isn't handed out. It's earned in the fire. While others wait for fair conditions, she becomes the kind of person who thrives no matter what's thrown at her. And here's the catch. Once you stop expecting life to play fair, you stop flinching when it doesn't. You stop depending on the system to reward you. You start becoming dangerous in the best way, because nothing throws you off for long. The Sigma female uses the unfair moments to build what most people avoid: emotional endurance, mental clarity, and unshakable direction. She doesn't wait for the game to be fair. She learns how to win her way, even when the rules are stacked against her. Number 6, I can't find my tribe. You've probably heard people say, "I just want to find my tribe." It's this deep longing to connect with people who think the same, feel the same, move the same. And for most, it becomes a constant search, swiping, joining, trying to click with some group that feels like home. But a Sigma female doesn't live her life trying to be part of a circle. She's not out here hoping to be accepted. She's the ground others eventually stand on, but rarely reach. She doesn't need to belong in order to be whole. She's not driven by group identity. She's driven by purpose, alignment, and truth. That means sometimes she walks alone, not because she's rejected, but because no one's walking at the depth she requires. Think of it like this. While most people are trying to join tables that don't serve what they're hungry for, the Sigma female builds her own table in silence. No noise, no performance, just real substance. People may orbit around her, intrigued, inspired, maybe even confused, but very few have the discipline to stay. And she's fine with that. She knows that real connection doesn't come from fitting in. It comes from standing strong in who you are and letting the right people show up without force. So while others complain about not finding their tribe, she finds peace in her own lane. No pressure to match anyone's tone or tempo, just steady progress, just clarity. And here's the unexpected twist. The moment she stops searching, something wild happens. People start to notice. They're drawn to the quiet strength. They want to understand how she operates with so much self-trust. But by then, she's already 10 steps deeper into her mission. So if you've been feeling like you don't belong anywhere, maybe it's not because your tribe is missing. Maybe it's because you were never meant to follow one. Maybe, like the Sigma female, you were meant to become the kind of person others look for, but rarely find. Number 7, I'm tired of pretending. You hear it a lot. I'm tired of pretending. People get exhausted from acting like they're okay when they're not, pretending to like things just to fit in, or hiding parts of themselves just to be accepted. It's draining, and eventually it breaks them. But a Sigma female? She doesn't reach that breaking point because she never plays that game to begin with. There's no mask to peel off, no character to drop. What you see is raw. It's shaped by quiet hours, hard truths, and a kind of self-honesty most people spend their lives avoiding. She doesn't pretend because she's already done the work of facing who she really is. Flaws, fire, and everything in between. Take a normal social setting. Everyone's laughing at things they don't really find funny, agreeing just to avoid tension, shifting their voice, their style, their opinions to stay likable. Meanwhile, the Sigma female is still. She speaks when it matters. She doesn't laugh unless she means it. That stillness? That's not shyness. That's someone who refuses to perform. She's been alone with herself long enough to stop fearing who she is. So when she walks into a space, she's not adjusting to make others comfortable. She's not waiting for permission to be real. She already is. And that's what makes her dangerous in the best way. While others waste energy keeping up a version of themselves they don't even like, she's pouring that energy into her growth, into her work, into becoming someone she respects, not just someone others approve of. If you're tired of pretending, maybe it's time to ask why you started in the first place. Because the freedom you're chasing isn't found in being liked. It's found in being honest. Sigma females don't get there by chance. They get there by choice. Quiet, consistent, unapologetic choice. Number 8. Nobody appreciates my effort. Most people quietly hope someone's watching, that their hard work will be seen, that someone will say, "I see what you're doing, I appreciate you." And when that recognition doesn't come, it hurts. They feel invisible, even resentful. But a Sigma female walks a different road. She's not fueled by applause. She doesn't need a thank you to know her effort mattered. She does things because they feel right, because they match her values, because they're part of her personal code. Not because she's waiting for someone to pat her on the back. That's what makes her different. Her fulfillment comes from alignment, not attention. Imagine she's in a work environment where her ideas get used, but her name is left out of the credit. Most people would feel crushed, angry, maybe even pull back. The Sigma female? She notes it but keeps building. Her value isn't tied to who sees it. It's tied to the quality of what she creates. And deep down, she knows that what's real doesn't stay hidden forever. She doesn't rely on external praise to feel worthy. She checks in with herself. Was it done with integrity? Was it meaningful? Did it move her closer to who she's becoming? That's the reward. People might think she's cold or detached. The truth is, she's just free. Free from emotional debt. Free from the exhausting need to be noticed. And in that freedom, she becomes unstoppable. So if you've been bending over backwards, hoping someone finally appreciates you, pause. Ask yourself, who are you doing it for? If the answer isn't yourself, then maybe it's time to shift that. Because once you stop tying your value to recognition, you step into a quieter, stronger kind of power. The kind that doesn't need a spotlight to matter. Sigma females already live there. Number 9. I don't feel motivated. I just don't feel motivated. You hear that all the time, from people who have goals, dreams, and good intentions, but can't seem to get started. They wait for a spark, for the right mood, for that invisible push to finally make a move. But a Sigma female sees motivation for what it really is: temporary, fleeting, unreliable. She doesn't depend on feelings to get things done. She moves whether she wants to or not, because she's not chasing a mood. She's committed to a direction. Discipline runs her engine, not emotion. Take a typical morning. Most people snooze the alarm and say, "I'll start tomorrow." The Sigma female gets up anyway, not because she's always excited, but because she gave herself a job, and she follows through. She treats her goals like promises, not suggestions. She knows that if she waits for motivation, she'll be stuck forever, so she builds systems, she creates habits, she breaks things into pieces small enough to act on, even when the drive isn't there. That's how she keeps showing up, not in bursts, but in a steady, quiet rhythm. When others say, "I'm not in the mood," she says, "That's fine, let's go anyway." That attitude separates her from the crowd. She doesn't need loud music, a perfect morning, or some viral speech to get moving. She relies on something stronger: clarity. She knows exactly what she wants and why it matters. That's her anchor. That's what keeps her moving when the excitement wears off and reality sets in. So if you're sitting around waiting for motivation to hit, stop. It's not coming the way you think it will. Start anyway, even if it's small, even if it's messy, because the Sigma female already figured out the truth. Discipline gets results. Motivation just makes good Instagram captions. Number 10. I can't find love. I just can't find love. That line echoes everywhere, in conversations, captions, and late-night thoughts. Most people treat love like a finish line, like once they find the right person, everything will finally make sense. They measure their worth by who picks them, who stays, who says the right things. But a Sigma female doesn't move through life looking to be chosen. She's not searching for love like it's the missing piece of her identity. She focuses on becoming the kind of woman she would be proud to love. Intelligent, whole, clear-headed, and emotionally solid. Her energy isn't tied to romantic milestones. She doesn't see love as something that will save her or complete her. That story doesn't belong to her. Picture this. While someone else is analyzing every text message, refreshing dating apps, and feeling anxious about being single, the Sigma female is investing in herself. Not to become more attractive for someone else, but to build a life that reflects her own standards. She's not waiting to be rescued. She's not hoping someone else will show up and bring meaning. Her life already has meaning. If love enters, great. If not, nothing's missing. She doesn't chase chemistry just to feel alive. She watches how someone handles truth, silence, pressure, and change. And if the connection doesn't align with her inner world, she lets it go. No begging, no overthinking, no making excuses for bad behavior in the name of romance. What makes her rare is that she knows love can be beautiful, but it isn't oxygen. She can breathe on her own. So she loves slowly, carefully. Not because she's guarded, but because she respects what she's built. And she refuses to hand that over to someone who's not ready to match her depth. If you're tired of looking for love, maybe it's time to stop searching and start becoming. Because when you grow into the kind of person who doesn't need love to feel whole, you attract the kind of love that's real, not rushed. That's the kind of love Sigma females wait for, or walk away from. Number 11. I hate being told what to do. I hate being told what to do. You hear it in workplaces, relationships, even in everyday life. Most people say it out of frustration, then sit in that frustration doing nothing. They feel boxed in, powerless, stuck under someone else's rules. But a Sigma female, she doesn't just hate being told what to do. She refuses to stay in systems that make her feel caged. And the difference is, she doesn't complain about it. She makes moves. She doesn't shout or rebel just to prove a point. That's noise. She studies the structure. She watches how it works. And if it doesn't serve her growth, she either finds a loophole or builds her exit, quietly, strategically, on her terms. Imagine she's in a job where every decision has to go through 5 layers of approval. Most people would rant to coworkers, maybe start slacking off. Not the Sigma female. She uses that frustration as fuel. She starts refining her skills outside of work. Maybe she's learning something new at night. Maybe she's building something on the side. But you won't hear her complaining. She's too busy positioning herself to never need that system again. This mindset shows up everywhere. In friendships that feel one-sided. In relationships that feel controlling. In environments that punish independence. She doesn't scream about it. She detaches from it. The goal isn't to win control over others. The goal is to stay in control of herself. And that's the quiet power people often miss. She doesn't react loudly when she feels cornered. She simply rewrites the terms. She walks away from what dims her and reinvents herself in spaces that respect her. So the next time you feel suffocated by people telling you what to do, pause. Not to vent, but to plan. Because complaining changes nothing. But repositioning, that's how Sigma females reclaim their power, without ever raising their voice. Number 12, people are fake. People are so fake. That's a line you'll hear often, usually said with frustration or disappointment, as if the speaker expected everyone to be real, loyal, and transparent by default. And when that doesn't happen, they spiral. They get bitter, guarded, or overly emotional. But a Sigma female, she doesn't waste energy being shocked by it. She already knows the game. She's not heartbroken over the fact that people wear masks. She studies them. She treats inauthenticity like a language, one that can be read, decoded, and used as information. When someone is overly nice, she notices the pattern. When someone's energy feels off, she doesn't question her gut. She doesn't confront it unless necessary. She simply stores it, observes how they move, and uses what she learns to protect her peace and plan her next step. Imagine someone smiling in her face, then gossiping behind her back. Most people would feel betrayed. They'd want to confront or argue. A Sigma female? She doesn't feed it. She watches how consistent the behavior is, then slowly steps back. No fireworks, just distance. That's how she handles fakery, not with drama, but with decisions. She accepts that most people perform. They'll tell you what they think you want to hear. They'll shift depending on who's around. That's not shocking to her, that's just data. And the more she sees it, the sharper she gets. This approach keeps her calm. It keeps her clean. She doesn't get pulled into petty emotions or distractions. She knows that emotional intelligence isn't just about being kind, it's about being aware. So when someone's being fake, she doesn't rage. She takes note, and she never forgets. So if you're tired of dealing with fake people, maybe it's time to stop expecting realness from everyone and start refining your ability to read the room. Because a Sigma female doesn't waste time trying to make people real. She learns how to move smart in a world where most are pretending, and that's what keeps her one step ahead. In final words, have you ever wondered what life would feel like if you stopped complaining and started adapting? If you stopped waiting for perfect moments or perfect people and just focused on building something real from wherever you are? That's exactly what sets Sigma females apart. While most people get stuck in cycles of frustration and comparison, they stay rooted. They don't spend hours wishing things were different. They take the reality in front of them, unfair, unpredictable, and sometimes lonely, and turn it into strength. Not because they have it all figured out, but because they've decided not to let the noise distract them. They're not above the chaos. They just refuse to be consumed by it. When others are drained by drama or disappointment, the Sigma female is already asking, what can I control right now? That question keeps her grounded. It keeps her sharp. It helps her create a life that doesn't depend on applause, comfort, or easy wins. And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to be born this way. You can train your mind to respond like this. You can start today. You can choose peace over panic, direction over doubt, silence over overreaction. It's not about being emotionless. It's about being intentional. So whatever you're facing, whether it's rejection, pressure, or simply feeling misunderstood, remember this. Your power isn't in what happens to you. It's in how you move through it. You don't have to join the crowd of constant complaints. You can rise above it, not by being louder, but by being deeper. That's the Sigma way. Thank you for watching The Rare Gems, and God bless you.